Do federal regulations create income tax liability for specific classes of individuals? The federal regulation at 26 CF R. Section 1.1-1 asserts that citizens and residents of the United States are subject to income tax. However, this regulation corresponds to IRC Section 1, which does not itself establish any specific liability. As such, the regulation exceeds the scope of its underlying statute and lacks constitutional validity. In Acker, Supra, the Supreme Court emphasized that agency regulations cannot extend beyond statutory authority. Thus, any attempt to enforce Section 1.1-1 as creating personal liability constitutes an unlawful regulatory expansion and renders the regulation void ab initio, invalid from inception. How many classes of citizenship exist under U.S. law, and how did they arise? There are two distinct classes of citizenship: 1. State citizens and 2. Federal citizens. The former arises from the original U.S. Constitution and is referenced in the qualifications clauses, e.g., Article I, Sections 2 and 3. The phrase citizen of the United States in this context refers to citizens of one of the states united. The second class, federal citizens, emerged from the 1866 Civil Rights Act and was later codified in 42 U.S. C. Section 1983. Courts have consistently recognized this distinction. See Pennell v. Roanoke, 252 F. 910, W. D. Virginia 1918, and Ex parte Knowles, 5 calories. 300, 1855. Federal citizens derive their status from congressional statutes, not from the Constitution itself. Can one be a state citizen without also being a federal citizen? Yes. Citizenship under the original Constitution is tied to one's allegiance to a particular state of the Union. The 1866 Civil Rights Act and subsequent 14th Amendment created a second, inferior class of citizenship, federal citizenship, governed by congressional statutes and applicable primarily within federal territories. State and federal courts have affirmed the distinction. In State v. Fowler, 41 Law. Ann. 380, 1889, and Gardena v. Board of Registrars, 160 Alabama 155, 1909, courts upheld the right of individuals to claim state citizenship exclusively. The Maine Supreme Court, in 44 Me. 518, 1859, further supported this by recognizing citizens' right of election to choose which jurisdiction to affiliate with.